What is up, brothers? Todd, Jason here. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing great. And I am sitting here with one of my brothers, Rob T, I call him. And Rob is somebody who we met earlier this year, and he's been a part of our Man for Man programs now for probably around 6 months. And I reached out to a bunch of brothers that have done our programs, and I said, hey, I want to know like what's going on. I want to know kind of what results you're getting from doing the practices that we do in the 6-Day Warrior Challenge, and then in ensuing programs and Tuesday Tribes and all this fun stuff we do. And a lot of these guys wrote back and they wanted to share stories. So I'm going to give you guys some stories, and not from me. Okay. This is actually from men that do this work and do these programs. So first, Rob, I just want to introduce you to the call and say, what's up, my brother? How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So good to be with you. And again, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
With this. This helps me, and it also helps guys to understand the power of this brotherhood, really, and the power of the curriculum that we're putting forth. So I'm just curious, let's jump right in. When we met, there's probably a lot of things going on in your life, but what was, one of the main things that you were trying to call in, or improve in terms of your circumstances?
Well, I think when I started the program back in June, it was right in the midpoint of my divorce. So I was really trying to stay focused and stay centered, kind of look at things in a more positive light. I think I was kind of rolling through with a lot of negativity. Mm-hmm. And it was just really nice just chatting with the other brothers. There's such a commonality, and everybody is so easygoing and easy to talk to. And that was what was most refreshing. I didn't feel like I was in a weird area. I felt like I was in a safe place.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate that. I think, like I always say, like guys don't often find groups like this, but when we do, we actually are very open to connecting. And that's why when we do our calls, like you can get on the line and go into a breakout session with two guys that are in completely different parts of their life. Circumstances are different parts of the country. Yet you go into the breakout and there's like this commonality. And really what's the same is that, hey, you have your hand up and you're like, all right, I want to change myself for the better. That's really it. That's what I call the yes moment. Like where we're just saying, okay, you know what? I got some stuff I need to work on. There's areas that can improve, and I'm open to this. I'm open to what we're doing here. And when you have that, just that one little thing, the world opens up, right? So I understand you came in, you had the divorce going on. What were you looking for? Were you looking for healing? Did you want to move on from that? Like what actually transpired with you? What were you trying to create in the program that you engaged in?
Well, to be honest, initially I think I was still in a disbelief about the divorce. So I wanted to kind of get through that and have it become more of a reality. And I also just wanted to come to a decision to where, you know what, I'm not going to get all worked up. I'm not going to be upset. I'm just going to let the universe present itself to me, and I'm going to live my life and just stay centered. You bring up books quite a bit. The 4 agreements are really important to me. And the biggest one is always do your best. And that's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of guys will come in some form of transition, right? And the time that we're living, there's just a lot of transitions happening. For you, it was around a relationship, your marriage, moving on, just having a better mindset, right? And then just seeing where kind of things want to go. And a lot of guys come in with career stuff, money stuff, whatever it might be. So what's actually happened? Let's get to it. I'm just curious, so you came in, you wanted to improve your mindset. You wanted to find a backbone to help you transition through your divorce, which is really tough, right? Did that work? Right. And I'm just curious, what's transpired? Give me a little story about what's been happening over the last several months.
Okay, I'll give you a quick one and then a longer one.
Okay.
So I have an amazing relationship with my ex-wife. We hung out for Thanksgiving. We hung out for Christmas. I'm going to be going over and watching her dogs for 10 days while she takes care of some family business. So we have an amazing relationship, and I'm really grateful and thankful for that. Mm-hmm. The more specific thing that's happened is I've kind of gone with what you've suggested in the past, is playing the long game. And I wanted to establish a new relationship. And one of the exercises you've given us has been the 1 year and 5 year plan. And over the past few months, I've met a few women that I've gone out with, and everything's been fine. But in my 1 year and 5 year plans, I was really specific. I really looked at the next year and 5 years with a lot of hope. And as far as my relationship, I was very specific, and I really drilled down. And I said, I met a woman, and her name is Melissa. She has a nickname. She goes by Missy, and she's got 2 kids that are close to my kid's age, and that she's kind of in the same, she's kind of in a funk, and she's trying to work through things as well. So I thought we could really, relate together. So December 23rd.
So before you go here, so real quick. So that's what you were writing down in your plans, just for you guys, to know if you haven't done any of our programs. One of the things that we do, is to do this life blueprinting process where I encourage guys to write out a 5 year plan, a little bit of a longer term plan than a typical 1 year, and then work backwards and then come to a 1 year plan. And Rob, I guess what you're talking about is in that planning, you got really specific. You took my coaching and said, all right, you know what? I'm going to get really specific on what I'm trying to call in right here. A woman named Melissa. She goes by Missy. She has all these things going on, right? So you're writing that out.
Okay. Exactly.
Go for it,
yeah. So, and I wrote this July 12th.
Okay.
And on December 23rd, I met a woman named Melissa. Her nickname is Missy. I have a son who's 21 and a daughter who's 25. Missy has a son who's 20 and a daughter who's 17. She's been divorced for about a year and a half, but she's having kind of a tough relationship with her ex. So she's working through some stuff. So as far as what I put in my 1 year and 5 year plans, I was stunned. I mean, this is pretty on target, and I'm really excited, and I'm not trying to move too quickly. And she's in the same boat. I think she's excited with our relationship, even though it's only been a few weeks. We chat, and when we hang out, it's awesome. It's just really, I'm really fortunate, and I'm just excited, and I look forward to what's going on. And I'm going back to the 4 agreements. I'm not going to make an assumption as far as where the relationship's going to go. I'm just going to live in the moment and enjoy what I'm living through right now.
Yeah, it's so powerful, brother. What I love most about there's a lot I love about what I love most about it really is what you just said at the end, right? Like this magical stuff is happening. Like, oh my God, like you can't make this up, right? Like I talk about in our programs, there's real magic in the universe. Well, here you go, right? And to me, it's not magic, actually. It's like, yeah, the name is pretty magical, okay? But when you get clear about what you're trying to intend, and this is what most men don't do. We don't get really clear and specific about what we want in our future. But when you actually take the time to write it out like you did and just really put your heart into it and breathe with it, okay? And just use your imagination and have some fun with it. And then you let it go, meaning you just kind of let the universe do its magic. And you just sit back and you observe things happen. Okay, there's a real power in that. And what I love most about what you shared was it's very easy to make these assumptions. Oh my God, I met this woman. Oh my God, we're going to be together. Oh my God, this is it, right? Yeah. And that's the trap. The way that you're holding this to me is so beautiful. It's with not a lot of attachment and story around, oh, this has to be it. Oh, the signs are telling me that it's it. I mean, this is amazing and magical. We have to make it work because that's where we fall into the traps again, right? Right. And so you're living in this place of experienced magic while also letting it go in every moment. And I just want to honor you for that, brother. That is really powerful.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Like you always said, just play the long game. And I'm not rushing it. I'm just going to let things, play out as they're supposed to.
Right. And I remember when you first joined the program, I remember in the very beginning, you had cut out some debt, right? You had some financial stuff and that kind of got wiped away in the very beginning. So I remember you sharing that one of the calls. Just one last thing I want to ask you, out of all the work that you did, was it the life blueprinting process that was the most powerful for you, the 5 year plan, the 1 year plan, or is there some other stuff in there that really helped?
The 5 year plan and the 1 year plan really helped. The eulogy helped. I think collectively everything. I think going back and rereading it every couple of months has really been helpful. I kind of think back in September when I went through a 6-day challenge, or October, and I reread what I had written. I think it kind of it brought it back to life. Yeah. And it brought it back to the universe's attention. Yeah. And put it out there. And I think that's what really helped. And the 1 year and 5 year plans, I mean, the goals and the specific questions are really helpful. And I'm on track. I've had some stuff occur as far as my debt, but I'm still on track and I'm in a good place. So, I might be a couple months behind as far as some of my goals, but they're not dead, which is good. Yeah. So, and that was one of the other things I brought up over the summer, was that I wanted to move to California and buy a boat and live on a boat. And Missy's actually from San Diego. Mm-hmm. So,
and what, she has a boat docked waiting for you guys? Like,
yeah, I hope so.
Waiting, right?
Yeah, that would be awesome. So,
well, brother, I just want to say, you're shining like a light. Like, you're such an example to me as somebody that, and it's hard for a lot of guys to say yes. Like, just say, all right, you know what, I'm gonna surrender into this process. You didn't know me before this, right? Like, you found me on Facebook or something, and you kind of came into the challenge, and then you kind of slowly started to trust this process, and you started to say yes, and then the results you're getting are just phenomenal. And I just wanted to share that, because there really is magic in this universe, and it's not always going to be so linear. Everyone's not going to write their 5-year plan and write down the name of somebody, and then 2 months later that name shows up. But when it does, we want to honor that, and then let it go, because it's just part of the grand intention that we're creating. So I just want to give you some love, brother, and say thank you so much for being here. Stay on for a minute. I'm going to end the recording now. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to say to the brothers?
No, a lot of love. 2021. Let's rock it.
2021. Let's do this. All right, I'm going to stop. Thanks, guys, for listening in. And thank you, Rob.